Hello Year 9, welcome to your next lesson on Lord of the Flies. So last time we looked at symbolism, and I'd like you to write the answer to this question: what does the beast symbolise on the island? So again, pause the video and give yourself a chance to write down the answer to that question. And our new word today is malevolent. Okay, so let's just look at what malevolent means. If someone is malevolent, they are having or showing a wish to do evil or harm to others. So again, pause the video, write down the definition. So how is Jack becoming increasingly malevolent, an increasingly malevolent force on the island? And then to aim higher, how does Golding present the island itself as malevolent? So pause the video and give yourself an opportunity to write down the answer to those questions. So what does the beast symbolise then? It symbolises the fear of themselves. As Simon says, maybe it's each other, it's ourselves we have to fear, but also the destructive power of fear and what fear can cause human beings to do. Jack's becoming increasingly malevolent because of his bloodthirsty nature, his desire to hunt, his desire to assert his authority, and we saw that when he breaks away from Ralph's group. So he's becoming increasingly vicious, increasingly letting go of civilization and the rules. Now, interestingly, the island is almost a character in itself. And the island is described as malevolent, as wanting to harm the boys. But interestingly, it's not the island that has done anything wrong. Any evil on the island comes from the human beings, the little boys on it. But it's almost as if the boys are a destructive power on the island, corrupting the island itself and the nature that is on there. So our knowledge goal today is to analyse the effect of Golding's use of symbolism in Chapter 8. So by the end of the lesson you will know the key events of Chapter 8, how this develops your impressions of the characters and themes, and how Golding uses Chapter 8 to explore the theme of fear and the effect it has on boys and the breakdown of their civilization, and how he uses symbolism, to show this idea of fear. So, I'd like you to read the next section of Chapter 8, so where you stopped yesterday. Again, if you're listening to the audiobook, you can see the times on the screen, or if you're reading it yourself, just find where you stopped yesterday. Now, I love this chapter. This is one of my favourite bits. The conversation that Simon has with the Lord of the Flies is one of my favourite bits. So once you write down, once you read that section of the novel, think about what is significant about the head being called the Lord of the Flies. Okay, and you might want to think about what the Lord of the Flies might mean. Now, the Lord of the Flies is obviously the title of the book, but the Lord of the Flies is another name for Satan, for the devil. Why is it significant that Simon is the character included in this extract? So think about what you know about what Simon presents, and what have our previous impressions been of Simon's character. So think about why Simon and what he symbolises is the character to confront the Lord of the Flies, and everything the pig's head symbolises. Okay, so then I'd like you to read the next section. How is Jack presented here? How is he contrasted against Ralph? Why did Piggy think Jack wanted the conch? And it's really interesting that Jack's got no interest in the conch and what it symbolises. What has the conch symbolised for the boys up until this point? And why would Jack not be interested in the conch? So again, pause the video, give yourself the opportunity to answer those questions. Then finally, read the last section of Chapter 8. And this is probably my favourite bit in the whole book because I just think it's so exquisitely clever and effective. What does the head, this Lord of the Flies, reveal to Simon? And think about Golding's intentions. Think about this idea of the heart of darkness inside all of mankind. How does what the head says to Simon reveal all of these intentions? And therefore, what do you think the head symbolises? Okay, so again, pause the video and give yourself a chance to answer those questions. So finally, write an explanation of what the conch, Simon and the pig's head all symbolise in this novel. Use your notes, the questions you've just answered to help you, and link the symbolism to Golding's intentions. So what I'd like you to message me today is I'd like you to message me the explanations of what the conch, Simon and the pig's head symbolise. If you want to message me your answer to the questions as well, that's absolutely fine. But what I'm most interested in is this final explanation. Okay? What you also can do now, and a lot of people have been a little bit confused about what you should and shouldn't be answering in the booklets. So now you have read the whole of chapter 8. If you haven't already, you can fill out the chapter 8 sections of the booklets. Okay? Now, because there is lots and lots of activities, okay, I'm going to give you today and then tomorrow's lesson to get these done. So it might be that today you want to do the lesson on the PowerPoint, and then tomorrow fill out the section for chapter 8, because there's a lot of activities. Okay, you need to be pacing yourself, you need to be doing a little bit a day. Okay, so today you can do the activity about what the conch, Simon and the pig's head symbolise, and then message that to me. And then tomorrow you can fill in the booklets and then take a photograph of these extended pieces of writing. Okay? So, any questions, as always, let me know. It's really nice to see that each day I'm getting a few more people begin to message me. It's so important that you are keeping up with this work. Okay, the last thing you want to do is come back in September at a disadvantage, and the reason why I'm doing these daily lessons is to make sure that we are keeping on track. Okay, so finally, just going to bring the PowerPoint back up. We're going to just look at our last two questions. What example of symbolism do you find the most effective and why? And how is the Lord of the Flies malevolent in the way he speaks to Simon? Okay? So remember, this lesson will take you for today and tomorrow's slot. Today, do the tasks on the PowerPoint and email me your explanations about what the pig's head, the conch and Simon symbolise. And tomorrow, fill in the chapter 8 section of the booklet and then take a photo of your work there. Okay? Any questions? Let me know, and I will see you tomorrow. If I can